So today's class is based on the Ashtanga primary series. So Ashtanga means 8 limbs in yoga, and Ashtanga is a very vigorous athletic practice, but this is just a beginners and basics class. So we'll go through just an hour-long class starting with a warm-up. We're going to do sun salutations, so really heating our body up, and then we'll do a set of standing postures, a set of seated postures, and then lying down and closing postures. Right, so we're actually going to start in a child's pose. So, or you can start in a comfortable position for you. But just take a few moments really just to connect with your body. Start to connect with your breath. Maybe coming into an Ujjayi breath. So taking those long, deep inhales in through your nose. Long, deep exhales out through your nose. Making your inhales and your exhales about the same length. And as you exhale, you're constricting the back of your throat, almost as if you are blowing out of a straw with your mouth closed, or fogging up a mirror with your mouth closed. Kind of feeling that little vibration or a little audible sound in the back of your throat as you exhale. And just start to turn your gaze, your focus inward. So from the outer world into the inner world. And just really starting to become present. One or two more breaths here. And then you can start to walk your hands back. And we're going to just make our way into a tabletop, doing a few rounds of cat-cow pose just to warm up. So spreading out your fingers, moving with your breath, inhaling to drop your belly, lift your tailbone, look up. Exhale to round. So rounding your lower back, rounding your upper back, chin towards your chest. And go ahead and do this at your own pace with your own breath a few more times. Working on your spinal flexibility. And just getting your body ready for class. All right, so whenever you're ready, from here we're gonna make our way into a downward facing dog. So just tucking the toes, lifting your hips up and back, making sure the fingers are spread out. And just take any movement here that feels good. Always an option as well, if downward dog doesn't feel good, to just come to a tabletop. Just bringing one foot back long, then the other, or just into a downward facing, or into a child's pose. So here, just kind of feeling the downward facing dog, not worrying how you're doing it or if you're doing it correctly. Just feeling that nice stretch. And when you're ready, we're gonna walk our feet up to our hands for a ragdoll forward fold. So just keeping that nice bend in your knees, relaxing your head and neck. If you want, swaying side to side. Spreading out the toes, sending your body weight forward a little bit. Lifting up through the hips. And then on our next inhale, we'll come to a half lift, drawing our shoulders back. Good. Exhale, fold forward deeper this time. And then next, inhale, make your way all the way up, lengthen through your spine. Good. Extended mountain pose. And just bring your hands to your heart center. We're gonna pause here to just set an intention for class. And we'll start class with an Om. So take a nice deep inhale, complete exhale. Inhale again. Om. sun salutations. We're gonna do 3 sun salutation A's. So come towards the front of your mat. We'll inhale to reach up. So moving with our breath, lengthen through our spine. Exhale, hinge, fold forward. Half lift on an inhale. Exhale to bend your knees. Plant your hands stepping back to a top hill plank. Option to drop the knees down if you want, but we're gonna lower them all the way to our stomach. Coming into, well, first option, so there's 3 options, I'll go over them. The first option is a Sphinx pose. So it's just coming on the forearms, drawing your shoulders back, so a nice gentle back bend. Option 2 is a cobra, where you're gonna bring your hands back a little bit, squeeze the elbows together, and then lift up the head, neck, and chest. Good. And then we'll make our way down. We'll do option 3 on our next sun salutation. So from here, you can press back to your hands and knees and into a downward facing dog. We'll be here for about 5 deep breaths. Always an option to come into a child's pose anytime. So we'll be here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bend your knees, look up to your hands, and then you can step your feet up to your hands. Coming into a half lift on your inhale. Exhale, fold forward deeper. Next inhale, reach up, lengthen through your spine, extended mountain pose. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. We're going to do the same thing again. So moving with your breath. Maybe just finding your own flow. Exhale to fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, coming to a plank. Option to drop the knees down or just lower down. This time, if you want, coming to an upward facing dog with the straight arms and really tops of the feet on the mat. A little bit deeper back bend. And then exhale, making your way into downward facing dog again. Settling in about 5 deep breaths. I'll be here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and on 5, bend your knees, look up to your hands. You can walk, step, or even try a light hop, bringing the feet to the hands, coming into a half lift. Exhale to fold forward. Next inhale, make your way all the way up, lengthen through your spine. Good. We're going to do 1 more. So either following me or just flowing at your own pace. If you want to spend any extra time in any pose, doing that. Going to move with your breath. I won't talk during this one. From here, we're going to set up for warrior 1. So bring that right knee high to your chest to bring your right foot through between your hands. Spin the back heel down. Front heel is about in the middle of your back foot. Hips square to the front, so you can start with your hands to your hips. Reach the arms up, draw the shoulders back. Just one breath here, since this is still our warm-up. And And then we'll cartwheel the hands down, lift the back heel up, step your front foot back. We'll go through a vinyasa, lowering down to an upward facing dog or a cobra pose. And then exhale, back into downward facing dog, right into the other side. So left knee comes high to the chest, left foot through, spin the back heel down, check your alignment. Maybe start out with hands to your hips. Reach the arms forward, draw the shoulders back. Good. Nice strong warrior, one deep breath. And then we'll cartwheel the hands down. Step your front foot back. We'll go through a vinyasa, lowering down to an up dog or cobra. Downward facing dog, 5 breaths, or use this time to maybe take a child's pose. We'll be here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bending your knees, looking up to your hands, feet to hands, making your way to a half lift on an inhale. Exhale, fold. Next inhale, come all the way up. Lengthen through your spine. Good. And we'll finish in chair pose, just how we started. So sitting back, either keeping your hands to your chest or you can reach them up. And we're gonna go right into our second one. So 2 sun Bs, exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, coming back to a plank. Taking your time, lowering down to an up dog or cobra pose, drawing the shoulders back. Exhale, coming into downward facing dog, bringing that right foot through between your hands, spinning the back heel down, warrior 1. Nice strong warrior, sinking in towards that front knee. We'll cartwheel the hands down, stepping your front foot back, going through a vinyasa. Back into downward facing dog, bringing the left foot through, spinning the back heel down, warrior 1 on the other side. Reach up. Good. Make our way back down, going through a vinyasa, lowering down nice and slow, reverse push up dog or cobra, shrugging the shoulders back, and then coming into downward facing dog, about 5 deep breaths, or taking the child's pose here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bend your knees, look up to your hands, bring the feet up to the hands, making your way into a half lift. Folding forward, then we'll sit back, finish in chair pose, bend the knees, and reach the arms up this time, draw the shoulders back. Good, and then coming all the way up. All right, so we're just gonna pause here. So that was our warm up, about 15 minutes. All right, if you want to drink of water, grab a drink of water. And then from here, we're gonna work through our standing series. So we're gonna start with feet about hips distance apart, just like a little space between the feet, and we're just gonna come to a forward fold. So just hinging from your hips to fold forward. Option here, if you have the flexibility, if your hands reach, you're gonna take your peace fingers, pointer finger, and middle finger around your big toes, if possible. From here, you're gonna lift up through the hips to get deeper. Fold forward. Try not to sit back too much in your heels. Coming back to your breath. From here, we're going to keep our fingers connected to our feet, but we're going to draw our shoulders back, lift our head up just a little bit, and then you're going to lift your feet up. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Place your palms underneath your feet. So maybe like a great big bend in your knees, placing your stomach on your upper thighs, and then slowly working towards straightening the legs. They certainly don't need to be straight, but they're just working towards that. About 5 more deep breaths. Taking one more deep breath here. And then you can release your hands. We'll come into a half lift. Fold forward. Exhale, and then next inhale, come all the way up. Go ahead, reach. Lengthen through your spine, hands to heart center. All right. From here, we're going to step towards the front of your mat. And we're going to take a big step out to the right. So we're going to come to star pose. Yeah, so nice and wide. Draw the shoulders back. And you're going to take your right foot. It's going to turn to face the back of the mat. So you're facing the back of the room. Back foot comes in a little bit. Perfect. So we're going to do triangle pose here. So you're going to reach, reach, reach forward. Bring your hand to your shin. Opposite arm up. So it's a straight line between the arms. Yeah, good. So lift, spinning that top hip open, pressing into the bottom hip, lifting up through your core. If you can touch the ground, that's an option as well. But mainly if you're on the ground, you don't want to place your weight on the ground. You want to lift up through the core. Deep breath. One more deep breath here. And we're going to come up through to the center. So back to star pose, and you're going to turn to face the other side. So we're just going to go in the other direction, just the other side that you didn't do. So facing the other way, yeah. So lengthen through your spine, reach, reach, reach forward as far as you can. Bring the other hand down. Maybe the hand's just to the shin. Maybe it goes down a little bit further. Just wherever you're comfortable. Pressing in towards the bottom hip, spinning that top hip open. Coming back to your breath, so not forgetting to breathe. Good, and then we'll come back up through to the center star pose, so opening up the chest, the arms, deep breath. You can take your hands to your hips and just step back to the front of your mat again. We'll reset and set up for our next pose. So we'll kind of follow that pattern. So take a big step back with your right foot, this time wider. And we're gonna set up for warrior two. So you're gonna face the back of your mat. Front knee's gonna be bent. Reach the arms out. This is just for our setup. And then we're gonna reach forward, coming to an extended side angle, bringing the forearm above the knee, reaching that top arm up. So this is one variation of the extended side angle pose. To go deeper, you can take that top arm and reach it forward. Yeah, so the bicep is kind of towards the ear. Either staying here, or you can bring your fingertips down. If you had a block, you'd be using a block, or just down to the mat. But it's perfectly fine to stay up here as well. Taking a few more deep breaths in the pose, knees over top of your ankle. And then we'll inhale, come back up through to the center. Both feet will face forward again, and then you're gonna switch legs. So turn to face the other side. Yes. So other foot is facing forward, back foot is coming in, and we're gonna start out with that warrior two. Then lean forward, opposite forearm above the knee. Good, opening up the arm, perfect. Maybe just staying here. This is option one. If you wanna go deeper, reach that arm forward and find that length. Either staying here or bringing the fingertips down. If you're more flexible, to just go a little bit further. Good. Deep breath. Good, and then when you're ready, we'll come back up through to the center. Feet face forward again, star pose. Bring your hands to your hips, and then we're gonna step back, reset. All right, so next we're gonna set up for wide-legged forward fold. Big step out with your right foot again. And I like to line my heels up this time with the back of the mat, just to kind of check they're in line. Reach your arms out. You're gonna make sure your feet are about as wide as your fingertips or so. Inhale, exhale, you can interlace your hands behind your your back, just draw your shoulders down and back, staying here for a breath or two. And then from here, we're gonna fold forward. So keeping your hands interlaced, lifting up through the hips. If it feels okay, you're gonna lift your arms, your shoulders, allow them to release. Maybe lift up from your back if possible. And then try not to send too much weight back towards the heel. Kind of just feel yourself coming forward a little bit more towards the ball of your feet. From here, keeping your hands interlaced, we're gonna make our way all the way up. Hinging from our hips. Just going nice and slow. All right, we'll inhale, reach our arms out nice and long. We're gonna do one more variation. So taking your hands to your hips, and we're gonna hinge forward again. This time you can take your hands, walk them underneath you. Just walking them underneath, or if you prefer, you can take the peace fingers again to your toes, using it as a leverage point just to get a little bit deeper. So just working towards getting a little bit deeper in this second variation. From here, you can walk your hands in front of you, coming up onto the fingertips, kind of like a half lift in this wide leg forward fold. Maybe a little bend in the knees. Take your hands to your hips, and then make your way all the way up. Good. We'll reach out, star pose. Take your hands to your hips again, and we'll step back to the front. All right, one more standing pose. So this time we're gonna step back, but just a small distance. So just about half the distance we did before. Turn to face the back of your mat. And back foot's gonna come in a little bit. Take your hands to your hips so you're facing the back wall, but you can, Right foot's in front, left foot in back. Square the hips towards the back of your mat. So send that right hip back, left hip forward. Good. And then from here, grab your elbows in the back, lengthen through your spine, and we're gonna fold forward. Perfect. So folding forward towards that front knee, feeling the stretch in the front hamstring. Deep breaths. And then keeping your hands where they are, leading with your chest, inhale to make your way up. Good, and then we're just gonna switch to face the other direction, the front. So opposite foot is forward. Feet are a little bit staggered, so kind of lined up heel to heel. Squaring the hips, sending left hip back, right hip forward, and then leading with your chest, starting to fold forward towards the front knee. Elbows stay out wide. Spreading out the toes to ground through your feet. And always an option to bring the fingertips down if that helps a little bit for balance, or if that just feels better. And then when you're ready, you can make your way up. Good. We'll turn to face the long edge of the mat, reach the arms up. Good. And then you can bring your hands to your hips, and we'll step forward. All right, so those are the standing series. So next we just have 2 balancing poses. So we're gonna start with tree pose. So go ahead and start grounding through your left foot, and then you can bring your heel to your ankle, starting with the baby tree, drawing your shoulders back, hands to your heart center. Option to keep that heel right there with the foot on the ground, or you can slide that foot up to your calf, is a little bit more of a challenge. Or if that feels easy for you there, you would grab the ankle and bring it all the way up towards your upper thigh as a little bit higher option. Find something to focus your gaze on to help you balance. If you come out, no big deal, just coming back into it. And we'll reach the arms up, open up our tree. Maybe our tree's moving, swaying, that's okay. Just letting the tree be however it's going to be. And then you can bring your hands back down. We'll switch sides, so just shake it out. Maybe the other side's better. All right, so ground through the opposite foot. Start out heel to the ankle, draw your shoulders back, stand up tall, come back to your breath, find something to focus your eyes on to help with balance. Maybe just staying here. If it feels okay, just slide the foot up to the calf. Maybe focus on staying there for a few breaths. If that feels easy, then you'll take the ankle, bring it up all the way, energetically pressing your foot to your upper thigh, but also pressing that upper thigh back. If you fall out, just coming right back in. Last step to reach the arms up tall, open up your tree, grow your tree. Maybe it sways. All right, hands to heart center. Shake it out, let it go. Some days our balance is there, some days not. All right, so next we're gonna do one more balancing pose, ground through your left foot. So two options. The first option is gonna be right here. So you're gonna have the knee in line with the hip, flex that foot, and then you can reach up opposite arm. Higher level option, this is not really for beginners, but it's an option, is to take the peace fingers to the big toes, working towards bringing that leg out straight. Opening the hip out to the side, so if you're here, hip just opens out to the side. If you have a wall next to you, feel free to hold on to the wall. All right, we're gonna bring that foot in front. You're gonna straighten the leg, but keep it up as high as you can with the straight leg. Point the toe and hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release, roll out your ankle, just shake the leg out, good job. All right, same thing on the other side. So deciding which variation you want to try, maybe you want to try both and then come back to the one that you feel better with today, so maybe starting out here. And you can always bring that other arm up as a counter stretch. And maybe you just stay right there, or if you want more of a challenge, work towards straightening the leg. It doesn't need to be straight. You want to straight back. If you can, that's fine, but it can keep a bend in the knee and then open the hip out to the side. Deep breath. Keeping your gaze focused. We'll bring that foot back towards the center. We're going to release the foot, but keeping up as high as you can with the straight leg. Even if it's down here, you want it super straight back. Arms can come out if that helps. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Shake it out. Good job. All right, we're about halfway through class. We're going to go through our warrior poses, holding them longer, and then our seated series. All right. So from here, we're going to start with chair pose. So we did that at the beginning of class for Sun B, but we didn't hold it for very long. So we're going to hold it a little bit longer with the knees bent, chest lifted, and then reaching the arms up, drawing the shoulders back. So about 5 deep breaths here. Just coming back to your breath. From here, we're going to exhale, fold forward, and we're going to go through a vinyasa. So coming to a half lift, bending your knees, planting your hands, stepping back to a plank, lowering down, maybe through to an up dog or cobra pose. Coming into downward facing dog. From here, we're going to take that right foot through between our hands. We're going to set up for the warrior one again. This time we're holding it longer. So spin that back heel down. Make sure your front heel's in the middle of that back foot. Hip square to the front when you're ready. Taking your time to make your way up into warrior one, drawing the shoulders back. So either arms kind of towards the biceps, or if you prefer, you can bring the hands together, sinking in towards that front knee, coming back to your breath. From here, we're going to keep the arms up. We're going to straighten the front leg. We're going to turn to face the back of the room, the other side. So warrior one, same thing, but just facing the opposite direction. So now the left knee, opposite knees bent. Your back Probably pinky edge side of your foot probably wants to lift up, so grounding through both feet. From here, we're going to take our right arm out to the side, warrior two. So right arm comes out to the side, hips square to the long edge of the mat. Arms reaching out, nice and long, making sure they're in line. Energetically squeezing your inner thighs towards each other, so working those legs really hard in the warrior pose. Keeping your arms out, straighten the leg that's in front. We're going to bring that foot in and turn to face the front of the room. So same thing on the other side. So this time now the right knee's bent. Good. Relaxing the shoulders, torso's relaxed in the middle. A few more deep breaths here. Good, and then from here we'll bring both hands down, lift the back heel up, step your front foot back. We're going to go through vinyasa. Drawing the shoulders back. Coming back into a downward facing dog, just 2 or 3 breaths. And then from here, walk your feet through to the center. You're going to cross at the ankle to come to a seat. And we're going to do seated series of poses. Good. Starting with staff pose, Dandasana. So your feet are going to be flexed. Draw the shoulders back, your torso is lengthened, and you're just going to bring your hands to your side. So just stacking the spine, coming back to your breath here. This is where all the seated poses start. From this position. And then from here, we'll inhale, lengthen through your arms. Exhale, we're going to hinge forward from our hips to come to a forward fold. So if possible, you'll take your peace fingers to your big toes. If not, you're just going to relax your hands on your shins or your ankles. Staying here about 5 deep breaths. If your hamstrings are tight, little bend in the knees. From here, just keeping your hands where they are. Inhale, lift up your head and chest. We're going to reach our arms forward, going a little bit deeper. So exhale, see if you can go a little bit deeper than you just were. Staying here 5 more breaths. Coming back to that Ujjayi breath at the beginning. Inhaling and exhaling through your nose. And then on our next inhale, we'll lengthen through our spine, lift up the head, neck and chest, and then exhale, you can come up the whole way. All right, from here, we're going to point our toes, bring our hands behind us, and we're going to come to reverse plank. So option 1 is the tabletop. We'll do both. So tabletop with the knees bent, lifting the hips up, allowing your head to drop back if that feels okay. And then you can lower back down. Either do that same one again if that felt good, or if you want more of a challenge, straightening the legs, same thing. Lift up, work towards pressing the tops of the toes down to the mat. Shoulder blades squeeze together in the front, keep the hips lifted up nice and high. And then when you're ready, coming back down. All right, so as an option, before we come to the next pose, to make this more of a power yoga class, is to do a low vinyasa. So I can just show you what that looks like. So you cross at your ankles, bring your hands in front of you, draw your shoulder blades apart, lift up, come back to a plank, and go through this motion. So that's an option between each of the poses. And like I said, it's really optional, especially this is a beginner's class. It's for the people who want that extra workout. All right, just one breath, and down dog, you're going to cross at your ankles, come back to a seat. All right, from here, we're going to take our left foot in front, right foot, 2 options. The right foot can come to your inner thigh, Or if you're more flexible, you would lift it up to a half lotus. So if this half lotus is not comfortable, just bring that foot there. Right, each option is kind of opening up, rotating our hip outward. Flex that foot that's out long. Take your right hand behind your lower back. The idea is that hand would kind of touch that foot, but it doesn't need to. We're just trying. It's just behind your back, and then we're gonna fold forward. Perfect. Only 5 deep breaths in each of these poses. On your next inhale, lift up your head and chest. Exhale, come up the whole way. You're gonna take that foot out and switch sides. So straighten the leg, bring the other foot either in towards your inner thigh. Or if it feels okay, if you could come into that half lotus, bring the heel all the way up, go ahead. Opposite hand comes behind your back. Fingers trying to touch the toes. They definitely don't need to. And then fold forward, coming back to your breath. Inhale to lift your head and chest. Exhale, come up the whole way. You can straighten that leg, shake it out. Option to just stay here and take a few breaths. Or if you want that extra work, we're going to do a low vinyasa. So it's your choice. I'll do the low vinyasa, and you just do what feels comfortable. Just one breath and down dog. One inhale. One exhale, and then when you're ready, you can bring your feet through to the center, just cross-bend your ankles, and then feet come forward. All right, so next we did a little external rotation of the hips. Next, we're gonna do internal rotation of the hips. So you're gonna bend that right knee, good. And it can come out here if that feels comfortable. If it feels okay, you'll bring the knees together, but rotating the eyes inward. Sitting up tall, flexing that foot. We can inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Next, inhale, draw your shoulders back, lift up your head and chest. Exhale, come up the whole way, straighten the right leg. We're gonna bend the other knee back. Setting up so both sit bones are down. Thighs turn inward, so stretching the top of the leg, hamstring, maybe your knees as well. And then we'll reach up, lengthen through our spine, fold forward. Your head, neck, and chest. Exhale, come up the whole way, straighten the leg, maybe shake it out. Optional vinyasa, or just take a breather. After your down dog, you can bring your feet through at the center, crossing at your ankles, coming to a seat. Good. All right, left foot comes forward again. We're gonna take the right foot, bring it in towards the upper thigh. Flex the foot that's out long. Inhale, lengthen through your spine, and then exhale, fold forward, both hands to your foot and your ankle. Draw your shoulders back, lift up your head and chest. Exhale, Come up the whole way. We'll straighten our right leg. Left knee bends, bringing it towards your upper thigh. Sitting up nice and tall, flexing the foot that's out long. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, hinge from your hips. Reach forward, hold forward. Inhale to draw your shoulders back, lift up your head and chest. Exhale, come up the whole way. Optional vinyasa, if you want. Or just taking your own stretch, or just taking a pause. The vinyasa is just to keep our heart rate up during class, to make it a little bit more of a powerful class. One breath in downward facing dog, and then you can walk your feet in through to the center, crossing up the ankle to come to a seat or adding a little hop. All right, we'll take our feet forward. We're gonna do a seated twist. So left foot's forward, cross the right foot on top, pressing the whole pad of that foot down, lengthen through your spine. So options, just take the opposite arm to opposite knee twist, or you can reach up, bringing that elbow above the knee. Flex the foot that's out long. Use the hand behind your back to help you sit up tall. And then twist that upper body, looking over your shoulder. Making your way back through to the center. We'll take an easy counter twist on the other side. So just opening up for an easy counter stretch. And then we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So take your right leg out long, cross the left foot on top. Inhale, lengthen through your spine, either just hooking the elbow to knee, or you can reach up long, bringing the elbow above the knee. Looking over your left shoulder, lengthen through your spine, and just think of lifting that belly up and over the thigh. And then when you're ready, we'll come back through to the center and just take a counter stretch on the other side. Good, and then from here, optional vinyasa. One breath in downward facing dog. And then we'll come back through to a seat. All right, we're gonna do a little bit of core work. We're gonna do 3 rounds of boat pose. So you're gonna bend your knees, sit back. First round, we'll take our hands behind our knees. So on our thighs, draw your shoulders back, lengthen through your spine, just hover your toes to start out with. So option 1 is to stay here for 5 breaths. Option 2, to make it a little bit harder, knees will be bent, feet in front of you. Option 3, work towards straightening the legs. We'll hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. So cross at your ankles. You can just hug your knees in towards your chest. And then we're going to go right into the second one, going right into it without thinking about it. So option to keep your hands here, or you can reach your arms forward. It's a little bit harder. Draw the shoulders back. Maybe staying here and just work on holding it here. If you want to work towards straightening the legs, go ahead. Embrace the shakiness for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Crossing at your ankles, just hugging your knees into your chest. All right, last one. Let's go ahead and get into it. Without thinking about it, draw the shoulders back, maybe hands here. Maybe just hovering the toes, that's fine. Work your way to where your level is right now, keeping the chest lifted, energy through the arms for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Hug your knees into your chest. If you want, going through an optional vinyasa. One deep inhale and exhale and downward facing dog. And then you can bring your feet through to the center, making your way back to a seat. We're going to come to a seated butterfly pose. So option to, if you bring the heels in, roll close to you, it stretches more of your inner legs. If you press the heels away, it'll stretch more of your hips. So either option is fine. Drawing your shoulders back, lengthen through your spine. And then we're gonna hinge forward. So first 5 breaths, we're gonna keep our chest lifted. And then second 5 breaths, we're gonna round more. So this time, just trying to hinge forward. Even if you're sitting up straight, just coming forward a little tiny bit from your hips. Coming back to your breath. And then from here, you can round your shoulders a little bit more, bring your forehead down, round your back more. So going a little bit deeper. And then from here, inhale, lift up your head and chest, exhale to come up the whole way. Optional vinyasa, this will be our last one of the class. All right, so from here we're gonna make our way onto our back, and we're gonna do a few of our closing poses and then shavasana. So coming onto your back, from here just hugging your knees in towards your chest to start with. And then you can place your feet on the mat, heels in towards you. We're gonna press up into a bridge. So press your palms into the mat, lift your hips up. Maybe interlace your hands behind your back, walking your arms under your shoulders. Lift up through your chest, chin is away from your chest. Squeezing the inner thighs towards each other so the knees are parallel. Coming back to your breath. And then from here, slowly lowering down upper back, middle back, lower back. Take your feet out wide. Drop both knees side to side a few times. We're gonna do one more bridge pose. Option to do the exact same thing that we just did. Or if you want a higher level option, if you have a flexible back with no back issues, you can try to do a full back bend or a full wheel pose. So whenever you're ready, either just coming right back into the bridge, just like we did, or you can take your hands behind you, maybe coming onto your head, testing that. That feels okay, coming all the way up. And then when you're ready, you can make your way back down. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Maybe do a few little circles, massaging your lower back on the mat. From here, we're going to bring our right knee into our chest. Our left foot is going to stay bent, and then we'll straighten our right leg. So option to bring the hands behind the thigh, or maybe behind the calf. That left leg, the knee can stay bent, or if you prefer, you can straighten the leg. So the knee bent might feel nicer for your back. If you sometimes have lower back pain or issues. From here, we're going to bring our forehead up towards our knee just to go a little bit deeper. bending that knee back into the chest, and we'll switch sides. So starting out with the right knee bent, straighten the left leg, maybe hands behind your thigh, or it could even be behind the calf. Just kind of noticing if one side is tighter or more flexible than the other side. And then from here, you can bring your forehead up towards your knee just to go a little bit deeper. Good, and then bending the knee back into the chest. You can come back down. All right, from here, we're gonna come into a fish pose. Fish pose variation. So you're just gonna come up onto your forearms behind you. Hands maybe just kind of underneath your back a little bit. Point your toes. And then on your inhale, you're gonna lift your hips, lift your chest. Maybe allowing your head to drop back, but keeping your shoulders away from your ears. So this is another form of a back bend. Opening up your throat. And then when you're ready, slowly lowering back down, just bringing your head down, sliding your arms up to the side. And we're gonna finish with an inversion. So, a few options. First option is just to bring the feet straight up. So just staying here. So just keeping the feet higher than the head, staying here maybe 5 to 10 breaths. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, if it feels okay for your neck, you're gonna come into a shoulder stand. So rolling up onto your shoulders, hands behind your lower back. You may be working towards straightening those legs. You wanna keep the chin to your chest, so you don't wanna look side to side. That might strain your neck a little bit. Gaze towards your toes. Option here to lower the feet behind the head. Bring the hips back a little bit to come to a cloud pose, which would be a nice back release, but only if it feels comfortable for your neck. You can interlace your hands behind your back so that you're on your shoulders and your head, and you're not placing weight on your neck. All right, so this pose is not going to be for everyone, so if this pose doesn't feel comfortable for you, just come to like a happy baby pose. Reaching for the outside of your feet, maybe rocking side to side. And then you can bring your knees back in towards your chest. Drop both knees over to the right side. We're just going to come to a little twist, just for a few breaths. A twisting to help kind of realign our spine after all the different poses, the different movements that we did. And then from here, you can bring your knees back through to the center, and we're going to drop both knees over to the other side. And then you can make your way back through to the center. Any last stretch that you want to do before you make your way into a Shavasana. When you're ready, finding any comfortable position for your Shavasana, for your relaxation pose. Typical positions, just your feet out, feet open up, legs out long, palms up. But just finding what works for you, your body. Allowing your body to completely relax. Scanning your body, starting with your toes. Noticing if you have any tension in your feet and allowing them to completely release and relax. Maybe working your way up, allowing your legs to release and relax. Relaxing your lower back. Relaxing your upper back. Allowing yourself to sink a little bit deeper into the mat. Relaxing your shoulders. Allowing your face to soften. Relaxing the muscles in the face. Allowing your arms to relax and your fingertips. Start to roll out your ankles, roll out your wrists a few times. Just slowly bringing movement back to your body. Maybe reaching your arms up overhead if you want, bending your knees. And whenever you're ready, making your way up to a seat. And we'll finish class with an Om. Just taking a nice deep inhale, complete exhale, and then our next inhale to prepare. Om. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste.